We'll see that happening in just a second. But I make an interesting choice here. Instead of engaging here and possibly losing my Zerglings, I decide, hey, I'm going to go scout again, see what he has, and see if I can do any damage. Because chances are he's probably droning up at this point. So what do? I decide to attack. And you'll see he goes right for my spine collars. I know he has no chance if he doesn't move in with the spine collars. There's no way it's going to work. And easily be able to take that out. And I'll get a couple Zerglings, remove the spine collar, and to be able to take him out. But anyway, regardless, that's not the most important thing. Right now we're focused on the Zerglings. We're going to act as our scouting agents and also as damage-dealing agents. So we see he only has 4 Zerglings. I figured he didn't have much. He's got his Roach Horn popping out. Cool. Sounds like I got a good timing. But I see he's throwing up spine collars. This is a big deal, because if I see him throwing up spine collars, I know he's getting into defensive posture, and I need to do the thing that Zergs do best. They drone up. And you'll see that happening if you look at the production tab. I focus a lot on drones. I'll get a few roaches for defense, because I got roaches myself, but I'll mainly focus on getting drones and expanding. And again, this whole game I'm keeping mind of when he's coming. Look at this Overlord positioning. Now this isn't the best, but look at how that serves as another scouting indicator. I can see where he's coming from, here and here. I can see about how long it's going to take for him to get in my base, and I can prepare accordingly. These are all instances that are extremely crucial to scouting overall. Now with that, I'll go to our next game, because there wasn't any more instances that were truly worthy of note in that game. The next one I had was a game versus a Protoss player. It was actually a very decent game that highlights the necessity of scouting in many ways. And this is actually the first game, and I'm happy it's not Zerg vs. Zerg. It was probably a mistake to go for only Zerg games at the start. But regardless, this game versus Protoss is going to prove a crucial point. And that is what I've been talking about earlier, the response. How should we respond to things? What do we need to do? And we'll see how that plays out in this game as we watch. Again, this is me in the top right, advisory TV, advisory, you guys get it. North American realm. So, QQN going first pylon, nothing out of the ordinary here. And we'll see that I go for my usual scout at 10 of 10. You can scout earlier or later if you'd like. I don't recommend earlier, but hey, you can if you want to. But anyway, so my scout's coming out. I take note of this. How early is the probe coming to see me? That's pretty early for a probe coming out. Usually Protoss waits a little while to send a scouting probe. They can pretend they're Huck and scout early, which is basically what he's doing. He scouted pretty early there. But I'm just keeping a mental note of that. Am I really doing anything with it? Not as much at the moment, but I'm just keeping it in the back of my head. So I'm moving towards his base with my drone. And you'll see he has his gateway up, but let's look from my perspective really quick. Here we go. I go into the base. What do I see? Gateway. That's number one. Do you see the forge or do you see the gateway? Now, normally you would see forge down here, but it is a possibility that you could see the forge up here as well. Could signal a cannon rush. It's actually really easy to do. It's happened to me plenty of times. I don't recommend doing it, but I mean, it's happened. Now, that's the first thing I'm looking for. So I keep going in with the drone. Now, I'm going to see, A, what's his gas timing like? This is a typical timing for Protosses to have a Vespene gas. I'm also checking for when this gas comes up, because that'll prove to be important as well. But with this early game scouting, I just want to see, you know, which gases he has up. Does he have one gas? Does he have multiple gas? What build is he going for? And early game, you can't see all that much. This is about all you can gather from right now, and it's whether or not, you know, is he going to put up a cybernetics core, which is probably what's going to happen. Does he want to do something crazy and throw up a forge or throw up a nexus? So watching out for that, and you do see that I scout the cybernetics core. Again, I've got my 2 scouting overlords, one here, one here. This one is eventually going to go over here. Why is that important? Because A, against Terran or someone like that, you'll be able to see drops. You can also see it with Protoss if they decide to go that way. B, at a critical time, you can come into the Protoss base virtually for free and see what they have. And that's going to be extremely significant when it happens to be later on and you're confused about what the Protoss is doing in their build. And this Overlord, of course, is going to the center to gain vision around this area. But anyway, continuing on. We have my drone coming back, as usual. Not really that much to see over at the base. He's trying to steal my minerals. Protoss has always tried to steal your minerals. It's just something they do. They're not economically sound like Zerg is, so they have to steal minerals and run away. It's a little bit late on the Overlord here, guys. But you'll see me do another scout timing, which is going to be important, especially as a Zerg player. And I'm sorry, guys, if I'm focusing too much on Zerg at the moment. I am a Zerg player, but I did want to be able to showcase something that I'm decent with rather than something I know nothing about. So in the future, I will have other games that showcase a greater diversity of races and tactics instead of just focusing purely on Zerg perspective of things. And so I will provide that in the future. But again, for our inaugural episode, we'll keep it to Zerg for the moment. So you see my Zerglings are moving out. I'm trying to take out his probe. That's cool, whatever. Doing the things Zerg should be doing. Take out the probe. Now it's time to go scout the base. Now, what I find here is going to be probably one of the most important parts of the game, at least for the moment, the time being. Early game, this is like the most important thing, this early game scouting. You need to find out what build Protoss is doing. And so we'll see again through my perspective that I'm coming in, and look what I see. One gate that I can see, and a sentry. Now, if they get a sentry first, it usually means I'm going 3-gate expand. For all you bronze guys, well, actually not so much in bronze because their builds aren't refined nearly enough, but for everyone else, that usually signifies, oh hey, we've got a 3-gate expand coming. Now that's not always the case, and you have to do some follow-up scouting, but more likely than not, they've got a 3-gate expand coming. Now you'll see he gets a Stalker that's a little bit different. I mean, Zealot Sentry Stalker is pretty strong early, but again, usually focuses on Sentry for the expand. But anyway, so that's what I see. I'm saying, oh hey, he's going to get a 3-gate expand. And you'll see, he's got his second gate up, and we'll see if he brings his third, but he's got his second one up so far. I've got my second queen coming, speed's almost done. Surprise, surprise. So what's Protoss do? Let's see. Again, we're playing out normally. Throws up a Stargate. How interesting is that? Didn't see the Stalker. And that was the problem. Not seeing that Stalker and relying solely on the sense that it was a 3-gate expand led me to miss this. A very important Stargate. That's an example of when you scout something and you rely too much on your intuition that you've seen so many times, and Protoss can trick you, and this is an instance of that. So how is that going to affect me later on? I'm not going to be ready for a Phoenix-based attack. I'm prepping to drone up like crazy, as most Zergs would do. And we'll see how that plays out in just a second. So again, I want to speed up a little bit. I know I've been going slow here. To showcase a little bit more of his build, see what he's doing. He's getting his warp gates, cool, getting the Stargate. I'm taking the Zelnaga towers. This is important because as Zerg you want to have as much vision as you can. I mean, look at how much vision of the map I have. This is a good amount of vision. Now, before I forget, you guys might be wondering, why do I have a Zergling over here? And I know I didn't mention this earlier. This is to stop that proxy pylon. Just in case he decides to pressure me through the hallway, I've got a Zergling right here to see it coming. Again, proactively doing things will help you significantly. Scouting more will help you significantly. Having vision of the map will help you significantly. You need to be aware of what's going on when. Again, I moved up. So you saw that I basically saw a Stalker and a Sentry. and a Zealot here and there. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Here comes his third gate. He's got his Phoenix coming, but also look at this. My Overlord here, excuse me, was late. I should have brought him in much earlier to see the Stargate, and I didn't. When I said about that 3-gate expand, you always want to confirm with the unit to make sure he's doing what you think you're doing, and bring that Overlord in that's conveniently placed over here. But look what happens. I didn't bring it in, and now I'm paying the price. A Phoenix is out, and I had no idea it was coming. Now this instance is the core of this replay that I wanted to stress. You need to have a response. Now, what is my response going to be to the Phoenix? Well, you'll see in just a second. We'll wait for it. My Overlord's getting destroyed. Oh, hey! Look at that. My Overlord's under attack by a Phoenix. What happens? Evolution Chamber. Immediately Evolution Chamber. As soon as your layer comes out, you build a Hydra Den, you do what you need to do. The important thing is, when you scout, and you see something funny, you need to have a response. And the Evolution Chamber gives you that.
Our forces are under attack.
So see, I'm moving my Overlords back, trying to respond, trying to lose as little as possible. And immediately, the Spore Crawlers show up, protect against the Phoenix. And I see there's a couple of them, there's a lot. He's doing what he needs to do. When you're Protoss, you need to clear the scouting. Because look at how much vision I have now. It's been dramatically cut down. I'm basically in the dark right now. And that's what the Phoenix play offers you as Protoss. It puts Zerg in the dark. And so I need to be scouting. I need to have more information and figure out what's going on. But primarily I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm trying to respond to the Phoenixes. But you'll see that here come my Zerglings. I'm checking to see if he has that expand primarily, and he does, so I run away once I start getting attacked. Phoenixes are basically in the middle. I know he's not coming in. I'm bringing the Overlords over to the Spore Crawlers so they don't get sniped. Granted, some can get sniped, but I have enough Spore Crawlers that they're going to do some serious damage, so it's almost not even worth it to come in. But anyway. So we look around. We've got our Hydralisks. We're pretty much set. The game plays on. Not really all that much going on. But again, the vision I have is slim and none. And I need to get more vision. Because right now, at this point, I don't know what's going on. Except for the fact that he has Phoenixes. He has an expansion going up. But I don't know what his composition is. And that's one other important thing that I want to emphasize. What's his unit composition? Because as you scout, you need to be thinking, okay, 1, what build's he going? Do I recognize he's doing a certain build, or do I need more information? 2, as I'm prodding around with scouting units, such as Zerglings, does he have a unit composition that I can currently deal with, or do I need to switch my tech in order to be able to deal with it? Those are 2 huge things. And of course, being in the dark lets you not understand certain timing windows and otherwise, but again... So there's that. So I'm in the dark. I need to understand what's happening. I need to do something about his air control, but we'll see that momentarily. Just so you see, he comes in with his Phoenixes. I'll take down his Phoenixes. He's kind of being careless with them. There's no reason he should have lost any of them. You'll see the third going up. As Zerg, you can expand into Phoenixes fairly easily. So now I get my Xel'Naga back, and this is important because it's kind of self-explanatory to get to the Xel'Naga. You want to have more vision. You want to see what's going on. The Zerglings are a way to do that. See a little bit of miscontrol by QQN here. Throwing up some more units. Now I'm scouting. Okay, this is another key point. This little prod, what unit composition does he have? You'll see, oh hey, he has a lot of Stalkers. Oh hey, he has a fair amount of Zealots. Oh hey, he has a couple of Sentries. What does that tell you about what he has? It's a gateway army. Now, lower level players will get to a gateway army and they won't know how to respond correctly. As Zerg, against a primarily gateway army, you need to have Hydralisks. Guaranteed. depending on how many zealots they have versus how many stalkers, the ratio of that's going to prove important to see how many roaches do I get to tank the damage. But again, these are all crucial bits of information